Can I tell you something? All yoga pants are see-through. There, I said it. The thing every one of us has suspected in a wide-legged forward fold when the morning light comes through the studio window at exactly the right or the wrong angle. Your pants, my pants, the expensive ones, the ones from the clearance bin, the ones from Costco. Under the right light, in a deep enough fold, they all give away a little more than we bargained for. I'm Sage Rountree, and this is Yoga Teacher Confidential. Today we're keeping it light because this one is genuinely fun. We've got a famous fashion scandal, a story about my student Andrea and the New York Jets, and some wardrobe advice you can actually use the next time you go shopping. Yoga to do while shopping. But there's a real teacher takeaway underneath the laughs, so stay with me till the end. Let's start with the proof because I'm not just tossing out a wild claim. Back in 2013, Lululemon, the biggest name in yoga clothes, had to recall a huge batch of their black women's yoga pants. About 17% of the women's pants in their stores. The problem? When you bent over, the fabric went sheer. People noticed it in forward folds and in downward-facing dog, which is exactly where we live as yoga teachers. It cost the company somewhere around $2 billion in market value, and it kicked off lawsuits and a genuinely terrible year. And the part that still makes me wince is what came next. Instead of simply fixing the fabric, the founder suggested the real issue was that some women's bodies just didn't work in the pants. They took a manufacturing problem and made it a people problem. Bad call in every sense of the word. I tell you this because if the company that built its whole reputation on premium yoga pants got caught with see-through fabric, the rest of us can afford to hold our certainty in our fabric a little loosely. All yoga pants are see-through. It's fabric and physics, plain and simple. And this isn't only a women's leggings situation. Sometimes men's shorts reveal more than the person wearing them ever intended. At least that's the kind reading, and it's the one I always choose. That nobody walked into your class hoping to show off their anatomy. It's loose fabric and gravity and a wide-legged seated fold or a happy baby. When it happens, our job as the teacher is simple. We look away. That's really what today's episode comes down to. There are two sides to this for us as teachers. There's what we wear and there's where we look. Both are part of taking care of the room and the students in it. Let's take the looking first because it's the easy one. When something is visible that the student never meant to show, you give them the dignity of your averted eyes. You shift your position, you find something easy to cue, and you move on. You give nothing away, and the student never has to know it happened. That's hospitality. The wearing side is more interesting because the right answer changes depending on the room you walk into, and I have the perfect story for this. My student Andrea took my Teaching Yoga to Athletes course, and then she landed a job teaching the New York Jets football team. When she first got it, she did exactly what I recommended in the course. She went in for a scouting visit to see the space and to meet the people before she ever taught a session. Her hiring manager walked her through the facility, and then he said, "Let's talk about dress code." And Andrea, bless her, said, "Oh, what I've seen the players wearing here is absolutely fine." He said, "No, not their dress code. Your dress code." And he walked her into the equipment room and handed her an extra large t-shirt. I love that story because the lesson lands without anybody having to lecture anybody. In that room, with that audience, an extra large t-shirt was the uniform. Andrea told me that when she went into work with the players, she would consciously dress in less tight clothes and wear less makeup than she otherwise would. That was her observation and her choice, and I think it's a smart one. I do the same thing when I teach athletes. And when I bring a younger assistant with me to the football team, I'll suggest she dress in joggers and a looser top. You read the room and you dress for it. So when is it actually worth saying something to a student? When is it worth the let's follow the golden rule and add a little wardrobe advice conversation? My answer is this: rarely, and only ever in service of the student. This is never about policing anybody's body or appointing yourself the modesty monitor of your own classroom. It comes up when you're mentoring a newer teacher or prepping someone for a corporate setting or work with an athletic team where what they wear genuinely shapes how they will be received. In those moments, a kind, private heads up is a gift, the same thing a good colleague would do for you. You offer it the way you would want it offered to you. That's the golden rule part. And then here's some practical advice, some stuff you can act on this week. If you're a male teacher, lean toward longer shorts or the basketball style shorts that have a long inner liner built in. That solves the whole thing before it starts. More generally, looser pants on men tend to read as welcome and comfortable in a yoga room, while I know for women, leggings are simply de rigueur. But there are different norms in different rooms, and it helps to just know them. You might also discover you love teaching in looser joggers or drawstring pants, comfortable, easy to move in, and you never think about them again. And here's the test that could change everything for you. When you are shopping for your yoga pants, get into the dressing room, do your deepest, widest legged forward fold with your bottom to the mirror, and look between your legs at your bottom to check yourself under the brightest light they've got. Virtually all yoga pants are see-through, and the fluorescent light of a fitting room will tell you the truth that your mood lighting in your bedroom mirror may be too polite to mention. By the way, if teaching athletes is something you're curious about, that whole world, the scouting visit, the dress code, all of it, that's what we dig into in my Teaching Yoga to Athletes training. You can find it over at sagerountree.com. So here's what I want you to carry out of this one. Cover what you can, look away from what you can't, and offer your students the same grace you'd want offered to you. That covers the pants, and honestly, it covers most of teaching too. I would genuinely love to hear your wardrobe malfunction stories. Come find me in The Zone, my free community for teachers over at comfortzoneyoga.com, and tell me the one that still makes you cringe. You are in very good company. Hey, I'll even go first. I have a recurring yoga teaching nightmare. In it, I am at the front of the room wearing a dress, an actual dress, trying to demonstrate a 3-leg downward dog with one leg lifted high in the air, fully aware that this is going badly. I usually wake up before I find out how badly. And it doesn't take a psychologist to read that dream. It's about feeling exposed, about standing up in front of people, vulnerable, half convinced you're about to be found out as a fraud. Every yoga teacher I know carries some version of it. And I think that's the real reason a silly topic like see-through pants earns a few minutes of our attention. Underneath the jokes, most of us are a little afraid of being seen before we feel ready. Dressing with care and looking away with kindness is one small way we can make the room safe, both for ourselves and for our students. Thank you for joining me for Yoga Teacher Confidential. I'm Sage Rountree, and I'll see you next time.